Hello everyone and welcome back to another patch note update video. So following on from our overview of the 7-hour patch from last night, at 3 AM this morning the 6.57 patch notes were dropped, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at those. So it looks like if you are a free trial player, you can now benefit from Stormblood. So patch 6.57 contains content that can only be accessed by registering the expansion packs for Final Fantasy XIV to your service account. To distinguish between adjustments that are and are not affected by the registration of these expansions, the following notations will be used throughout the patch notes. So starting in patch 6.5, the starter edition will include second expansion pack Stormblood, and access to Stormblood will automatically be granted to players who have already registered a Realm Reborn to their service account, which is awesome. So I think this is something that's going to be overlooked, but if you're a player who is new to the game or just getting into the game and you're playing the free trial at the moment, and you know it can be quite expensive to buy all the expansion packs and pay for the monthly sub, so this is huge, and it's exciting that free trial players will get to play more of the game. Stormblood personally wasn't one of my favourite expansions, I'm not gonna lie, but I know a lot of people do love it. So moving on, rewards have been adjusted for the following main scenario quests. So it looks like for Scions of the Seventh Dawn, Back from the Wood and Black Wolf's Ultimatum, we will now get almost more than double the Aetheryte tickets that we had before. If you're not sure what Aetheryte tickets are, they're essentially tickets you can use to travel around the game without using your guild. I think I have loads of these that I just never use, but I think I'm gonna, seeing as we're gonna have so many more of them, try to get in the habit of using those myself. Some miscellaneous changes. When certain visions are in progress in the Island Sanctuary, players will now be able to speak with the Furball to receive hints about how they may be realised, and a number of Elegant Tombstones of Comedy offered for completing one line of Chloe's Wondrous Tales have been increased from 50 to 300, so that's quite a big increase. And I think this comes part of a lot of people, are feeling like there's a content drought in the game and they're bored and they're not sure what to do. And I think things like this kind of encourage people to, do some things that they might not have considered doing, and give more, of an incentive to play these kind of side features of the game. In terms of the Island Sanctuary change, I think this is a positive change as well. I'm playing through Island Sanctuary a lot at the moment, and sometimes you do get to a point where you're sort of like, well, what do I do now? So it's nice that you can go and speak to the little furball and get some tips on what to do next. There's been some changes to the battle system. So following adjustments have been made to the Pandemonium Savage. Treasure coffers will now always appear with no reduction in awards, regardless of whether any party members have previously cleared the circle. The weekly restriction on rewards obtained from treasure coffers has been removed. The weekly entrance restriction has been removed. Players may now proceed directly to any circle, and they will now receive the power of Echo, which we did predict in the last video. The effect will be granted at the start of the battle, increasing maximum HP, damage dealt, and healing potency by 10%. And there's a little note here that says, unlike other instances, the strength of Echo will not increase in the event that all party members are incapacitated. So there is a little clause on that one. Thalia has been added to the duty roulette and alliance raid, so there is a new alliance raid. The weekly limit for Elegant Tombstones of Comedy has been increased from 450 to 900, which is nice, but the maximum of 2,000 has not been changed. I agree with what a lot of people are saying about there being a cap at all. It's kind of annoying, and I'm not sure why it's there, but I guess maybe it's to encourage people to kind of play the game weekly and not kind of steamroll through the game. I'm not sure what the purpose of the cap is, but I'm sure they have their reasons, but unfortunately it has not been removed. PvP. The following adjustments have been made to the Fields of Glory. The amount of data required to win has been decreased from 2,000 to 1,600, and the amount of data gained from defeating a member of the opposing team has been increased from 5 to 8. I imagine this is to kind of make the games a bit shorter and not take as long. some system changes. So the additional instances implemented to prevent congestion in Old Sharlayan and Razanhan and Thavne have been removed, which is good, but again, expected. And there's a huge bit here about the open beta for Xbox Series X and XS versions. So if you don't know, at the moment they're doing a huge kind of test period as the game releases onto Xbox, which I think is amazing to see the game come to another console, and will open up the game to a lot of new people. So the open beta will officially begin on the 21st of February at 8 a.m. GMT, and there's a link you can read in the patch notes themselves on how you can participate in that, and I will put a link to these patch notes in the description if you want to have a look at that. As someone who's considering getting an Xbox, I will be definitely interested in looking into this. So it looks like the launcher for the Xbox version will utilize single sign-on. Once Square Enix accounts and Xbox accounts are linked, players can skip the login process and launch the game directly, which is really good. Additionally, the Xbox Series X version will display the player's Xbox gamer tag. Oh, I don't know how people feel about that. I feel like some people will probably have gamer tags from when they were like 13 and they won't want everyone in Eorzea to see, but you know, it is I guess it keeps everything unified. Xbox Series X supports 3 resolution options, so you can play in 4K, 1440p or Full HD 1080p. The default setting will be the 1440p option, and Xbox Series X will support 1440p and 1080p. You can also play on mouse and keyboard on the Xbox, so you'll have the option to use that now, which is awesome because you can do that on PS4, I believe. The player's Xbox gamer tag icon will be displayed to fellow Xbox Series X players across the following UI windows. So in your character, examine deep dungeons, the Mahjong opponent list. My fellow Mahjong players, rise up in the comments. I need more people who play Mahjong. I love Mahjong, and I feel like not enough people play it. Triple Triad Tournament opponent list. So they're the places where your gamer tag will show, and your Xbox icon will show in your friends list and your contacts list, which makes sense to me. Recent players. So when joining a party with members also playing the Xbox Series X version, said members will be displayed under the recently played with section of your friends list. And the achievements, which I know is a big Xbox thing, lots of people like their achievements. So Xbox achievements that will be unlocked when their conditions are met. Additional achievements will be added in future patches, so I guess they'll add all of those in because there's a lot of achievements in FF14. Last but not least, we've got some resolved issues. So the following issues have been addressed. An issue during a cutscene in the main scenario quest Stars in the Dark wherein Timulin's animation did not display correctly. An issue regarding the Mughal treasure trove. The first hunt for Genesis wherein the Borderland ruins was erroneously listed in the Mogpendium. I didn't notice that. Did any of you guys? I didn't notice. An issue wherein Japanese kanji conversions stopped working during text input after disabling live conversation on Mac version only, so that has been fixed if you're a Mac player. And other minor text issues. Other various issues have also been addressed, but they haven't specified what those are, it looks like. So some other known issues right at the bottom here. So an issue where certain graphics do not display correctly in the Xbox version. I think this is mostly going to be Xbox fixes by the looks of it. An issue where players' chat mode toggle keybinds stop working after the first use. An issue wherein the sound of footsteps does not play correctly under certain circumstances. While listening, position slider is set towards the character in the sounds. That's very specific. But it has been fixed. An issue wherein the keyboard enter key does not function correctly within the launcher. Should you encounter this issue, a mouse or controller can be used instead. An issue wherein the controller's directional pad and all the keyboard arrow keys do not function correctly within the launcher. Should you encounter this issue, again, a mouse or keyboard stick can be used instead. So it looks like they're faffing around a lot with the Xbox Series X things. So not a huge patch, but lots of interesting things still added. I think the Stormblood thing is great. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought that was already in the free trial. I thought they'd already added that, but I guess I was wrong. But it's in the game now, and obviously if you're a Savage Raider, that will be made a much smoother experience for all of you raiders, and the Aetheryte tickets and things like that, and any bugs and troubles have been ironed out. I hope you appreciated me going through the patch notes. Sometimes it's easier to listen to somebody read them out to you than it is to sit and slog through and read them to yourself. I definitely like hearing people explain the patch notes and go over them in videos. So let me know if you appreciate these, and I will continue to make them as and when patch notes are released. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.